Hi, everybody. I hope all is going well on this lovely Thursday afternoon. As promised, we are midweek, and what do we do midweek? We are hanging out on the porch. So, this is our midweek theme, and this is the time where I need you guys to just slow down like I'm doing. Like, this is actually like my relax point of the day right now. And when we go to the porch theme during the week, we are going to focus on just stopping, taking a few deep breaths, and we're going to talk about where we are in the manifestation window that I was talking about last week and on Monday. So I hope you guys have some really cool things to share with me about what you're doing in this period. If you're taking the opportunities in this period that I presented to you, and where you are in the cycle of this period. So as I said on Monday, we had it on Monday like a 5-day period where manifestation is high. We're at like the apex of the manifestation period. So anything that you guys are trying to transform or change or to move ahead at this point, I hope you guys are getting that underway. At this point, there's a lot of you, especially people that are kind of, how do I say this, but like moving out of the old world into their new world. Because this time with the pandemic and also with the universal consciousness and the shifts that we're going through, this is a time of rebirth and of birthing, not just of people having babies, but of birthing a new life and transitioning from one life to the next. And don't worry, I'm not talking about going into spirit. I'm talking about actually transforming your life for the better. So I want to know where you guys are at with that. I want to know what's going on. For some reason, I'm not seeing any of the comments on here. I don't know what's going on with my screen. Something is up. Anyway, I'm not seeing comments. If you're writing something to me, just know that I'm probably going to have to look at it when... Okay, cool. I am seeing comments now. Awesome. Cool. So what we're going to do now, because it's such a high energy day and we're at such an apex of manifestation, and today is so important for so many of you if you're working toward a goal or a project. Some of you might even be going in a whole other direction and you're trying to forge pathways that you've left gaps in for the past 10 to 15 years. So if there's dreams you've had or goals you had, most often in the past like 10 years, you might have left some pathways open where you kind of like didn't really follow through on some things, or some things that you wanted to do to achieve your goals were a little more overwhelming. So you kind of put those on the back burner while you stayed with the status quo. You did your job, you did all your mundane things that you had to do, and you just said, okay, well, I'll deal with this another time, and I'll achieve this another time. Well, a week ago, the energy shifted, and people were actually starting to get ready to pursue their dreams and follow their dreams and manifest some of these things that they never ever really took care of or pushed through. So at this point today, we're at a point in that energy where you're going to be hitting, if you're really manifesting, if you're really moving ahead with your dreams and goals, you're going to hit some stuck points. And today, it's probably a day where you're going to be like, all right, like I've done, my head spinning in all different directions. I'm not sure which way to go or what road to take. And at this point in time, like if you're really transitioning to something else and you really want to achieve your dreams and goals, at some point in time, you're going to hit those sticking points. You're going to hit those points where you're not really going to know like what to do. And at this point in time, you're going to have to take a risk and do something about it. Okay. So whether that is you purchase, a course on what you have to do, or you research it, or you hire a mentor, or you talk to somebody in your field that can give you the information that you need to move ahead. Because at some point, this is the reason why you didn't do this before, at some point in time, there came a point where you just didn't follow through over anything. So let me see what some people are saying. Patricia, I started to write a book over 20 years ago, and I'm being nudged to painkillers it up and begin again. That might be a typo, Patricia. I'm not sure if you were nudged to painkillers, but maybe you were, because it was just so frustrating. Not sure what that means, but if you want to retype that, we can look at that again. So for today, I want to know where some of you are in this manifestation period. And before we get into that, I'm going to do a little brief breathing meditation. So everybody, because this energy is so high today, can take a deep breath and just relax and just hang out and just kind of let's talk about what your sticking points are, because that's really where we need to move ahead. So, Lindsay, let me look at what you're saying. I'm still struggling with putting what's in my brain onto paper. Well, Lindsay, that's a habit that you probably had since you were in grade school. I bet, when you had to write a paper in grade school, you probably hated the point in time where you had to go and write that thesis paper, or just maybe in high school where you had to go write that term paper. You probably still have that energy within you that is I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? And what you need to do is you just have to move the muscles and the mind will follow. So you have to actually set aside maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes during the day, maybe not even every day, but maybe 3 times a week, to just actually take that time to practice pushing through discomfort. So you have to take just that time. If you don't write anything, that's okay. But if you do, you just have to take that time and push through the discomfort. I don't even want you to write anything. Just sit down and push through, and maybe journal about how your day is going. But just practice moving through that energy, because a lot of times when we are not moving toward our goals, it's because we don't want to really move through the discomfort. So that's really important. So Tara, how you doing, Tara? You're manifesting my energy. That's interesting. I don't know what that means, but I'd love to hear more about it. So hi Dee, how are you? So who was I talking to here? Don't mind me, a little ADD here going on. Lindsay, I hope that made sense to you. But what I'm saying is, now is the time, if you're hitting stuck points with the practicalities of what you have to do, you have to hire an expert in your field, or you have to go to the experts and say, hey, I need that road to my next step, and just ignore the truck. If we're going to be out on the porch, we got to just assume that there's going to be trucks. We got to assume there's going to be loud noises, maybe some cattle running around. Cattle, probably not, but I did see a black bear the other day, so I don't know. So anyway, we have to do that. So even what I'm telling you is, for me, there's certain things that I want to do that I've put off, because I'm I have to run the business. I have to take care of the family. I have to see clients every day. I have to run my website. I have to send out my newsletters. I'll get to that dream manifesting part of things down the road. And once I get there, I'll just know what to do, and I'll have the time, and I'll have the energy, and it doesn't ever get there. Okay. It just doesn't ever do it. So once you do get there and you're finally serious about it, you're going to realize all the different holes along the way, and all the different things that you don't know what to do. There's things you need. You might need, if you're writing a book, you might need an editor. You might need to go research that. You might need to decide whether you're going to self-publish or you're going to go after a publisher. You have to write a query letter. There's so many things you have to do, that it's oh my God, I didn't think about that. I just thought I had to sit down and write a book. Well, There's all these practicalities that you didn't think about. So you have to, at some stage of the game, once you're serious, you have to hire a mentor or put some money into an online course for your expertise. Or if you have people in your industry or people that have knowledge, maybe you don't have to pay them, but maybe you can call them and sit down with them and being like, I'm hitting a sticking point here. So there has to be time that's allocated to research, okay? Or a coach. Like, so I'm seeing clients right now, because it's a high manifestation time, people are calling, and there's in the description part of the box up there before the video, if you want to schedule a call with me. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be me. It could be anybody in your field. But sometimes you do need a little bit of hand holding to getting those first steps off the ground. For me, when I'm going into a new area, I like to take in a lot of information, and I like to be like, wow, there's this platform and that platform and this way to go and that way to go. And by the end of the day, my head's spinning, and that's what happens when the procrastination sets in, and then you don't want to do anything because you don't want to make the wrong choice and you don't want it to not be perfect. So, here we go. So I wanted to tell you that. So it's important that at this stage of the game, if you're hitting sticking points, you get an expert or you hire somebody to do some of that hand holding for you to move you through, because we're at the apex. You want to move through the threshold into the other realm. And once you go into the other realm, you're kind of like the fool on the fool's card. You don't really know where to go or what you're doing or what road to take. So once you're in new territory and you actually pushed yourself into that new territory, you need the directions. You need to know where to go and what to do. Okay, because you might have expertise in one area, but if you want to follow your dreams and do stuff that you weren't able to do before, there's going to be roadblocks that you hit and sticking points that you hit along that process. And a lot of times, this is where people just give up and say, I don't want to do this. So this is why we're on the porch today, people. We're on the porch so that we can have support in manifesting what we need to manifest during this period of high energy, okay? So really important. Now, if you're new to the porch, I'll explain it to you a little bit. So if you're new to me, I'm assuming everybody knows me that's watching, but if you're not, I'm medium, Marisa Pell, and when this pandemic hit, I decided to start coming on live, and that's one of the things. Just do it. It doesn't matter. I didn't know what I was going to do live, but now it's turning into this. Now I have 3 themes, and now I have, hanging out on the porch, hanging out in the office, hanging out in the lounge. So for anybody that's new, that's watching me, you probably just got really confused because I said who I was and then I went off on a tangent, and that's kind of how things are around here. But I was able to structure it enough with the videos to say, on Monday we're going to work. We're going to talk about the forecast coming up. That's the videos you expect in the beginning of the week. Middle of the week, we're going to manifest. We're going to talk about our goals, dreams. We're going to sit on the porch. We're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to manifest together what we need to do and motivate moving forward. And then on the weekends, we're going to go to the lounge, and that's all about lifestyle and fun and hanging out, and that's just sometimes hilarious. So anyway, I just want to let you know that. So Lisa, hi Lisa, how are you? Lisa, yeah, well, thanks for putting yourself out there. Lisa is one of my business coaching clients, and she is doing very well because she doesn't fight me too much. She does get frustrated, but she has a really positive attitude, and she is manifesting something in a whole new area, like what we talked about. She has an area of expertise and in the beauty industry, and she's used to doing something she's been doing for 20 years, and now she's taking some product and moving in a whole other direction with that product. And we were able to talk about manifest, and she's hit some sticking points this week. We talked about it, and I have to push some people through those stuck points. That's really important. Now, what's really exciting news, and I'm just going to give you a little teaser about this, but I'm going to be doing a little, because remember I told you I was going to be doing the intuitive development courses. That's coming. But because you guys all want something now and you need to manifest now, I'm going to be doing a 30-day manifestation course that's coming out very soon. So if you don't want to do the long-term coaching, you have an opportunity to jump on and see me online, and we go deeper into these tips weekly. So it's a 4-week course, and you're able to do it step by step. There'll be videos, there'll be worksheets, and there'll be some extra bonuses because this will be our first launch. And so a lot of you are going to be getting perks that once we take this a step further, not going to be there. So I just want to let you know and tell you, and if you have some things you want to focus on in that manifestation 30-day course, Manifest with Marisa, maybe that could be the title. I don't know. That just came to me. But we're going to take your dreams to a different level and actually take you to where you want to be. So awesome. So at this point, we're going to take a few deep breaths and actually bring in the energy of the birds and the wind and the sounds. And we're just going to, wherever you are, if you could go outside, just take a couple deep breaths, because if you're in the high energy, your mind's been probably spinning for a while. So hi, Denise. Denise, how you doing? I hope you're taking this energy and using it well. We're just going to take a couple deep breaths. So wherever you are, just going to take a couple deep breaths to relax and take in the energy. And I like to recommend a 7-count inhalation followed by an 11-count slow exhalation. And that's what I've learned is going to take some of you with high energy that are in the sympathetic system, or go, 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 do. It's going to take you into the parasympathetic system where we're able to we're able to relax. If a lot of you start yawning when you have this, it means that your energy is finally coming down and you're in that relax and feeling of well-being. So it's important, if you can't do a meditation during the day, that you take a couple times out of the day and do like a 3-step repeat of that 7-11 energy. Really important. So how you guys feeling today? Let me look through the, we're just hanging out on the porch. There's, we're not cranking out content here. We're just hanging out. So if you hear a bird, enjoy it. If you want to take a sip of your drink, enjoy it. If you want to hang out with me, that's cool. Let's see what people have to say. Where's everybody at? Carol's in Dixon City. That's not too far. Hi, Aaron from New Jersey. Let's see what Corinne has to say. Oh, I can't see more. I work from home. Let me see. I can't open that. Let's see. Oh, Carol, you're talking about toxic relationships. Yeah, that's something that is something, the patterns that people go through in toxic relationships, that is something that's not so much a manifestation thing as it is something long-term that you have to change that pattern and work through a certain system to actually change what you're doing. So really important there. So if anybody has a specific, I want to see some specific, like really cool goals. Is anybody doing anything like where they're like, hey, I'm in the mix, I'm doing it, I'm getting out there, I'm doing it. Megan, you used to live in Dixon City? Wow, that's random. Where do you live now? Yeah, so are you guys doing anything cool? I mean, I want to hear about something impossible. Like, what are you doing? What are you going to try to do in the next 4 days that's impossible? I just want to know. I'm going to wait here and see if anybody gives me something. Because I don't want to hear that you're going to do something. I want to hear that you're going to do it. Like, I don't want to hear that you're like, oh, I can't do it. I want to hear that you're going to do it. So what are you going to try in the next 4 days that's going to be crazy, but in a good way? I don't want you to go and, jump on a quad or something and drive it off a cliff. I mean, I don't even know where that came from. Okay, Carolyn, your goal, you're putting a pool in. Are you actually doing this? You're putting the pool in, or you're having somebody else put the pool in? Not really understanding that. But that's cool. I could come swimming in it. That's cool. I'm just gonna wait till somebody gives me something here to work off of. Take a drink. There's some birds. There's actually a bird's nest over there. Baby birds are coming out. So that's kind of nice. So everybody's telling me where they're living, but I want to hear what you're doing. But Megan, I'm glad your best friend lives in Troop. You know, they say it's Throop. A lot of people that drive around the area don't understand that it's not pronounced. The H's aren't pronounced in this area. It's only like TROP, and nobody understands that, but I'm sure you do. Aaron, congratulations. You mended a broken relationship with a family member. How long has this been going on? It's a great time to do that. Let's see. Yeah. Carol, good job. Let's see what everybody else is doing here. Tracy, you're reaping the rewards of everything you've done in the last few months. Good. Well, that means that you've already put things into manifestation and you're ready to go. So I'm really proud of everybody, that everybody's doing everything. I'm interested to know about this pool person. What kind of pool are you putting in? And is this like a dream for you? Is this something that you've been waiting for a long time, for a number of years? All right. Let's see. All right. Well, I urge you guys, all of you guys, if you didn't do it yet, I urge you guys to just take 10 minutes at this point, once we get off the line, and to just, take the time to think about what your dreams are, what your goals are, what you really want. And if you had an ideal life, what would it look like? And what would make you feel excited about your life if you were doing right now? And that's good, Stardust Luna. That's good that you're practicing guitar. I'm glad. And use the pandemic wisely, because there's a lot of people that are like, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. If I were only getting out of my house, I'd have stuff to do. You can actually manifest all your dreams during this time period, because there's so much time to do it. So don't take the time to procrastinate. Just get out and do it and work it, and it'll be worth it. All right. So I hope to see some of you sending me some messages that you're ready to go and you're ready to manifest. And I'm going to be putting the pedal to the metal and getting that course out for you guys to do some manifesting on your own, so that you have step-by-step instructions on what to do, number one, and how to align with the universe, so that you're getting intuitive messages along that road as well. So we don't want to only talk about the practical tips to manifesting. Part of manifesting is seeing beyond ourselves and actually tuning into the universe to lead us. I had a conversation with a client today, and she called me and she was looking for insight on a real estate matter. Okay, like, should she buy this house, or whatever. Well, I talk to a lot of clients, usually on a daily basis. So I don't remember what I've told somebody like a year ago. I don't even remember what I told myself a minute ago. I can't remember what I told you guys on this webcast. So when she tells me, she's like, I'm really surprised to hear this information that you're telling me, but I have your notes from last session and you told me the same thing. I'm like, okay. And so we're going through the whole session, and I kept saying, well, she's giving me the locations. And I'm like, oh, not that location. Nope, not the other location either. You have to think about this as a creative time where you're, if you're bored in the house, go on an adventure and look at these other areas. Look at these other areas of, they were beach towns. Look at the other beach towns, because this is not where I see you. I just don't see it happening. And every time, like 10 minutes, every 10 minutes, she kept bringing me back to the same town that I already told her. I'm like, I could see she was listening to me, but her mind was so focused on that stuck point of that fixation on that town that she was like not hearing me. but yet she was, and she was understanding it. But you know, it's amazing how stuck we can be in certain patterns of thinking. And finally, I'm like, girlfriend, you're paying money for my insight here. You're paying money for my advice. You know, you should probably like consider it. She's like, oh yeah, that's true. I am paying you money for this advice. So it's very surprising if you have a reflection point, someone to mirror what you're doing. That's also a very important part of having someone like a mentor or a coach or somebody in the spiritual realm to kind of mirror to you the way you're thinking and what you're doing. You know what I mean? So it's really important that you have someone to reflect that, because she wasn't even aware that she was fixating, even though she was getting the information she called me for, which is what she wanted in the reading. She wanted this information, but was still stuck on the outcome. And she wasn't even realizing. So we were laughing. I was like, are you gonna like stop with that location already? You know what I mean? So hopefully she'll get it. But we are all stuck in habits and patterns, that the first step to manifesting is really starting to break those patterns and to move forward in a very concrete way, while at the same time developing the intuitive process, the intuitive faculty to manifestation. So in that, if you're just joining us, I see a whole new slew of people. So Carol, how do you break patterns? It's all in your mindset. Yeah, that's the course that I'm developing. That's coming out very soon, guys, because it was supposed to be the intuitive development course, but universe is showing me that people need to break through. People are needing this breakthrough to their dreams. So I'm going to focus on, it's really important that you build the foundation with the practical elements of manifestation. There's practical elements, and that you also develop your intuition for the universal elements, because you have to manifest on both lines. If we just focus on changing a habit, it's not really going to help, and because you're still going to be stuck in that same line of thinking. So that's really important. So like I said, if you want to have a coaching call or you want to have a manifestation call, the information is in the description in the video with me, or you should do it with somebody else. I don't care who you do it with. I don't care if you do it with the garbage man down the street if he's got good insight, you know, picking up your garbage on garbage day, like today's garbage day. Go and ask him for his insight. He might know something. You could do it with somebody in your field. You could do it with a friend. I actually wouldn't recommend that. Take that back. Don't do it with anybody close to you. They're not objective enough. You need somebody objective and reflective, because they know you too well. So that's really, really important too. So yeah, I have to work on that in the next couple of days. And I want to give you guys something really good so that you can get a jump start on this, because there's a lot of information to be packed in a very short amount of time on a webcast. So you have options. Get a coach. Call me. Do the seminar that's coming up. Do some research. Get out of your head and take a deep breath. And that's all I have to say for this Thursday. So it was nice seeing you. And as you know, we're on the porch. We talk about manifesting. We talk about taking that energy and moving it into another realm. And I hope you enjoyed today's going all over the place message and hangout. So this weekend, like I said before, we have the lounge. So not sure what day it's going to be, but I hope you guys can join me and hang out. And if you have any lifestyle areas or areas of entertainment you'd like me to address, if you have any questions and you want to have some laughs, at the beginning of the week we don't laugh. It's all business. It's all about energy and what the forecast is for the week. Midweek we take a deep breath. We talk about what our goals are, what we're going to do. And the weekend we laugh and we talk about lifestyle stuff. But there's truth in it, so you'll learn something. But we're going to help you we're going to help you manifest. We're going to help you enjoy life. And we're going to help you tune into your intuition. So what else could you want? I mean, why not hang out with me? I mean, I'm just sitting on a porch. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say. Lindsay's asking me if I interpret dreams. I do not, because my dreams are really, really weird. I'm not a dream interpreter. You could look for a dream book, but everybody's dreams are different. It actually involves a lot of levels of your subconscious, unless it's a dream Unless it's a visitation from the other side, then that's a whole different story, and those aren't really dreams. Those are visitations, which means that you don't ever forget those dreams, and they kind of go in the same time sequence. They're not all scattered, and they're very vivid. So I know about visitations. Just because I'm a medium doesn't mean I know anything about dreams or numbers. A lot of people just assume I do, but I don't. So, Lindsay, yeah, you're talking about you having a dream about somebody who passed. Are those dreams scattered, or can you recall them years later, and are they very vivid? Do they have light rays behind them? That's usually a sign that it's a visitation and not just a dream. So hopefully I've helped you with that. Jackie, hi, girlfriend. You're late. We're almost done. You have to go back and watch this whole thing over again. All right. Well, I'm going to go because I think I've addressed everything I had to address at this point. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and looking forward to the lounge this weekend. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. Remember, keep out of those stuck ways of thinking and move ahead. Talk to you soon.